Matt, you said after the Wimbledon game that you were pleased that we didn't have a midweek game and give the players a chance to get some training in and some fitness in. Has the week gone as you would have wanted it to now, talking on Thursday afternoon?
Yes, it has, because 5 games in 14 days doesn't allow you to get many training sessions of any intensity or quality into the squad. It's literally, recovery and light preparation ready for the next game. So it's been a busy period for us and for everybody, but we were pleased to have a couple of days recovery, which I felt was important for the players and the staff, to then have 2 really good training sessions on Tuesday and Wednesday, where the players have worked really hard, both physically and tactically. It now sets us up, which is what we wanted, that little bit of downtime ready to go into, as we know, another tough game on Saturday.
That 5 games in 14 days, do you think that was possibly reflected a little bit in the performance against Wimbledon on Saturday?
Definitely. I'll probably sit here and I always just like to think I'll be honest. And I felt going into the season that it was going to be a real tough ask for the 5 games in 14 days for where I felt the squad was at the time. And where that was obviously, unfortunately, picking an injury up to Jackson in pre-season and then Hart to pre-season. So no real cover or options to freshen up the fullback areas. Louis John not featuring at all in any pre-season game, but close to being fit. Christian Gesson wasn't fit and had missed the last pre-season game. Where I felt we were light wingers-wise, we only had 2 in the building at the time. One was Amari Patrick, who had had no pre-season and no games with anybody or training sessions until the week before the season he signed for us. Then you go into the attacking options. Obviously, Scott Casket, no pre-season with anyone, came into us quite late. Pre-season with us, but very late. Aidan O'Brien, a real lack of minutes. So I just didn't feel, although I still wanted to sign and still feel I need to sign a couple more, that with being a little bit light in certain areas, with having suffered a couple of injuries in pre-season to key areas, and then to then be quite a few players who came into the squad quite late and not fully up to speed, it was very much trying to get through the 5 games as best we could. And then if you look and reflect on the 5 games, obviously an excellent start against Notts County, of course, and then progressing through on the Tuesday night in our first ever League Cup win. And then we go to Barrow and to play 80 minutes, just less, with injury time, it proved to be quite a bit more, with 10 men and a very good, solid performance. But the longest trip of the season and having to play 10 men in the middle game of those 5, which then led us to toe-to-toe game with Gillingham, and could have gone either way. And performance was certainly there, and unfortunately a slight error, and we get punished for it against the team who started the best in the division, which led us into the local derby. And I just felt, physically, I felt that was the game too far for us. And physically, mentally, Rob Milson, unbelievable to play 5 games in 14 days. And I respect to Rob, but at his age, it's certainly not an intention that I would have done. And he's pushed his body to the limit here to get through us, as has a lot of other players. And with a couple of players playing with niggles and players getting through for us, I felt the Wimbledon game was a game too far, and obviously the worst result and obviously the worst performance. But like you've said in your opening question, it was then nice to have a bit of downtime, to have a couple of good training sessions in, to take a breather as a squad, to then regroup and get a couple of players back available for the weekend, to go into another 3-game week, 3 games in 7 days, which is going to be important again to make sure we use that squad wisely.
In terms of that, then, with the rest, is the squad position looking a little bit healthier? Looking at Saturday's game at Newport.
Well, Jacko's had a couple of training sessions leading into being on the bench and playing his first minutes on Saturday. He's had another strong week, so he's only going to get stronger and fitter after a lack of pre-season, both minutes and training sessions. Louis John's just topping up his minutes a little bit more again on Saturday. Sam Hart is back in training this week, and we hope for him to be available. which is a positive sign. There's one player, which I'm not going to mention now, which would give it away, but you'll soon see that on the team sheet, that has been playing with a little bit of a niggle and yeah, sort of maybe reflective of his performances a touch. But a scan on him is going to mean he's probably out for 10 days, 2 weeks minimum. So we'll you'll find that one out at the weekend. Josh Cody's been playing with a little bit of a light niggle, but Aidan O'Brien's been back in training, which is a positive. And Harry Smith, who's going to be such a big player for us this season, and as proved in the first 2 games, 2 in 2, and such an important and imposing figure for us in that front line, is, we've just got one more game to get through before he's back in the squad as well. So I feel, disappointed in the last 3 results, of course. But I'm certainly pretty clear in my head where I feel we're at, and I feel we're only going to get fitter, stronger, and better with this new group of players. And hopefully this week, with a little bit of rest and a couple of good training sessions, starts us off with that at Newport the weekend.
And just as a little bit of an update, we saw Steve Arnold go off at half-time in the game against Cambridge, and I gather it's not such good news for him with a hip injury.
No, it's not good. As in, he's not going to be. I wouldn't imagine he's back in weeks. It's probably going to be a little bit more into the month categories of him returning. But I believe he's seeing the specialist again on Tuesday. But such a great character and a top professional, even just to have around the place. So we'll see what comes off of his situation next week, and then see where we're at, whether or not I need to do something on the goalkeeping situation. I'm not sure yet. We've obviously got a week to go, and I'll see where we're at maybe after the weekend.
Now, looking at Newport, 2 trips there since we've been in the Football League. One, we'll probably sooner or rather forget that the Tuesday night game 2 seasons ago, but last season, one of our best away performances of the season. And actually, I think I'm right in saying our last away league win. So looking to repeat that against a side that I think it's fair to say they've done better than a lot of people were anticipating at the start of the season.
They've got a very good and experienced manager who knows how to get football results, and he did well last year, and he certainly started well this year. Lost a couple of key players, but was recruited well, and like you say, they've got off to a decent start to the season. And it's a tough place to go regardless, but a very organised team with some good players. And as we know in this league, there's no easy games, but certainly going away to Newport, you've got to be right at your best, like we were last season. Like you said, very good performance from us. I thought we were excellent on the day to keep a clean sheet and 2 really good goals. And I'm sure, we're going to have to be at the same to go and get a result on the weekend.
And talk about the absence of Harry Smith. We mentioned it slightly last week. Does he again make you think about, wonder how you compensate for the lack of a 6'5" centre forward who wins virtually everything in the air?
Yeah, because it's difficult. You can't have 2 of them, unfortunately. So of Harry's quality, because we're not in a position, budget-wise or anything else, to be able to do that. So when he comes in as one of your main, marksmen and such a big character on and off the pitch, and he's been so impressive, and I've been delighted with Harry since he's come in. Other than just that, a little moment there against Barrow, which happens, which football. It's only his 3rd sending off of his whole career. So we're desperate to get him back in our squad, because we've seen in the first 2 games of what a big player he's going to be for us. So, yeah, we look forward to him being available for Wycombe on Tuesday.
You talk about the 5 games in 14 days that we had at the start. We were facing another 5 games in 14 days starting this Saturday. But the change to the fixtures today, the Aston Villa game's gone back a fortnight. Their request that we agreed to. Thinking behind that, possibly, just spread things out a little bit.
Probably just what I've just said to you about not wanting to really go into another 5 games in 14 days. It wasn't our suggestion. Aston Villa have suggested it to us. When that information came through to me, I thought, no, it might be a good opportunity to not put our squad through another 5 games in 14 days, just to push it back another couple of weeks, where, like I've just said, I feel more towards that time. I really do. I haven't got a crystal ball, and I don't know, injuries, touch wood. We hope don't have too many, if at all, that our squad is going to be a lot stronger, healthier, fitter, both physically as well as tactically, and tweaking things that I want to improve on as a new group and a new team that I feel we need to get better at. So with that, pushing it back, just all right, it's going to put us into another little run of games. But as I said, all round, I think and hope we'll be in a little bit better place as a squad then as well.
And just slightly connected, we've got a week to the to the end of the transfer window, and obviously concentrating on the weekend's game first. But are you still likely to be busy particularly busy next week?
Yeah, I'm reasonably happy with. Obviously, I'm happy with our recruitment. I'd like to maybe possibly add one or two more in the attacking areas, and as I said, it's depending on how long Steve's out to whether I maybe get a lone goalkeeper in until the window, next window. I'm not sure. I've got to juggle those few things about, but I do think I'll be maybe doing a little bit of business before the window shuts next week.
But first things first, looking forward to the game away to Newport on Saturday, and hoping to repeat what happened down there last season.
Yeah, definitely. And as I say, the squads I feel already a bit fresher, and this no midweek game has really helped us and give us a bit of focus to work on the training ground, work with some video sessions, get a couple of really good physical sessions into some players. And yeah, we're now into the preparation of the Newport game, and yeah, like you say, hopefully we can get back to winning ways where we were so successful there last year.
I'm sure I know the answer to this question, but Wycombe away in the League Cup, you'll worry about after the Newport game. There's no danger of having been a distraction with the sort of it being the second round of the League Cup and the implications that victory might bring.
No, I think you've asked me that question knowing what my answer is going to be, Tony. I think you've interviewed me long enough now. I think you know where I'm at. That there's certainly no focus on the Wycombe game as yet. It's a massive game on Saturday. We're desperate to get back to winning ways. We're really confident with the group. We've got a great team spirit. It's not been rocked at all. We've just had 2 weeks of the season where 1 week we've had an unbelievable start and everyone's ringing me up, telling me how good we're doing. And then suddenly 7 days later, it's not gone so well for us. So that's football. As they say, a week in football's a long time. And certainly we're not even thinking on Tuesday's game when we've got the next challenge ahead of us, which is Newport County and a big game. So on to them. And then we'll wake up Sunday morning, of course, looking to progress through. A great opportunity for us. A tough game at Wycombe, league above us, local game. And of course, we want to progress through to the next round. But it's Newport first.
Brilliant. Well, thanks again for talking to us, Matt. And we'll see you down in Wales on Saturday afternoon, and all the best. Thank you very much.
Brilliant. Cheers, Tony.